Call this meeting to order. It's 5:30. Can I get a approval of the previous minutes? Jeff, can I get Troy seconded? Okay. Yeah, Scott's been here.
Scott and McShepherd.
All right. Public comments? None. Public hearing, none. All right, Austin?
Yeah, the only couple updates, the facilities group and highway, pulled up that water line underneath the hoop barn and there was not a leak. Is what Brady just said, and then they're working with the Red Cedar Racing on, a leak down by the racetrack.
So is the concrete tore up then, obviously?
I don't know at this point, but I would assume they needed to take out some of it to find what they did. I can report back.
All right, Zach?
That one, there you are. Hi, guys. Yes, I missed the last couple meetings. Sorry about that. But couple things we got going on. So our project day is up and running. We got about 21 people signed up so far for that. Some new 4-H members or potential 4-H members, some current members. So hopefully there'll be a good recruitment program for us to do. We had a small animal project meeting. I think I mentioned last time that Emma stepped down. So I'm stepping in hopefully for a short amount of time, but I do want to make sure the project is going in a good direction. I kind of have a year-long plan for them to follow. So when hopefully someone steps up to lead the project, they'll be going in a good way. And it can stay nice and strong. Feel like we got a lot of new members signing up. I was at Rock Falls meeting and gosh, they had half the meeting was new members last month. They only had 4 or 5 families to begin with, but they had like 3 or 4 new families show up there. So I think we're doing a good job with that too. So not much else. Got a lot of other programming and stuff going on, but that's about the highlights for you guys.
Okay, Katie Jacobson, did she reach out to you about the small animal?
She did not, but I can. Katie? Yeah, okay, I can reach out to her if she.
Yeah, Katie and Emma, she's not a Jacobson anymore, I bet.
I know. I think Katie, there's a mom and then her mom, right?
Yep.
I think I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
I might have her number. Would you want me to share that with you or?
Yeah,
Or
right
do
on you. I
or
can
you
probably
have
look it up just to make
I'll
sure.
have to look it up.
Okay, yeah, it should be in 4-H online.
Oh,
But-
yeah, I guess you could get it from
Yeah,
there. Nancy.
okay. Katie, what's that?
Nancy, I believe is the mom.
Nancy
Yeah,
is interested. Okay,
yeah,
sounds
Alright.
good.
yeah, she was interested in that. Okay, thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Troy? Yep.
So MAP, we had a meeting, what was it, last Thursday?
Yep.
Just kind of went over what we needed to do, like redo a little bit of our bylaws, whether we're gonna do a 501(c) and stuff like that. So I think we set another meeting date. Don't remember what the date was for sure on that, but and so, yeah, just kind of went over everything so that way we can get things structured the way we need to. And otherwise, besides that, nothing really new.
All right, treasurer's report, Austin.
So Mercedes put in her 2 weeks last Monday. So I'll bridge the gap as well as our centralized finance department. Our CFO stepped down last week as well. So there'll be some change on that side of things. With Mercedes' departure, this could be something that if the right in our bylaws that the Fair Board wrote up, if there's 2 options with this, if you want to elect one of your own to do this, that is completely up to the board. But unless said otherwise, we'll do what we can to bridge the gap. But I don't want to be the end all taking this over, but I'll help maintain it through this off season till we get, some new blood in there. And the only real action that we've seen in the past few weeks is 5,000 in and 5,000 out, for a net zero change for, the 50% payment towards the Chris Cruzy and the 50% sponsorship. So, that's all signed and done, with sponsorship payment as well as, vendor payment. So, a good net zero start, to 2026.
Facilities committee will do the hiring, or who hires in, for Mercedes?
For her position.
Yeah.
It as a whole or for the fair board?
No, I'm on the fair board and the facilities committee, and so is Ron. So my biggest concern is that, it is the facilities planning on having the person that replaces, Mercedes, you know, do the 150 hours for the fair board. So, I mean, is that going to be part of the hiring process? This is what we expect of you, or you're not going to hire somebody and say, oh, by the way, this is what we expect of you.
Yeah, I just said I'd fill the gap until we hired somebody.
No, but when you hire somebody and you post a position, will that be known to the applicants?
Yes, right in her job description that was updated, when we added the fair 3 weeks ago. It's right in that. So to any new applicant coming in, that would be on there, or if we ended up going with somebody part-time, the finance department said that they would take on the fair treasurer roles in the interim with her absence as well. But
Okay.
the fair board has the option to elect their own in these as well and not do that 150 hours.
I thought that was, this is what you must do.
It's, no, it says right in here,
Okay,
there's two options and this is what you voted on.
okay, well, I don't, just like to know for sure. I got a stack of papers here. But going back to the original question, I mean, I'm speaking as being on the Health and Human Services Committee, and we hired KT. The Health and Human Service Committee was part of the hiring process. So now if we hire somebody, even though it's, Secretary of Staff or whatever you want to call them, does the Facilities Committee at least have a discussion with the people and whoever hires them? But I mean, does facilities have a part in it? The Dunn County Facilities Committee have a part in hiring this new person.
I mean, it's not an elected position of Dunn County as a finance specialist for facilities. I mean, this is us hiring over there is besides the point of this fair board. Right now, the fair board allocated 150 hours of Dunn County's time for somebody to take care of this. And in the interim, I said that I would. It's in her job description, questionnaire if we brought in somebody new. But at this point, with how recent the departure is, I don't know if a full-time person in that position is the best fit. I don't know if a part-time person is the best fit. We have somebody coming over for the transit building to keep our accounts payable going one day a week. Like, there's a lot more into the conversation than just a one sentence answer to that.
Well, just like to know, because, you know, with the budget stuff we're doing, if we have an option, speaking as a county board member, if we have an option to not have a full-time position, I'm all for it. But, you know, I just wanted to know if facilities committee, and you're saying they will have a look at the,
I mean, it's an approved position for the counties, but
Can I just interrupt? Can we just keep on Fair Board stuff? please?
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
We're getting
All right.
more
No,
in HR position.
Yeah, sorry. but-
if,
No,
All right.
I'm fine.
if the fair board wants to go in a different direction with the
Yes.
allocated hours and save money and have
Right.
somebody from your board do it, that's right in here and can be done, but I don't have other info on
I thi-
if we're
you know,
filling the facilities
I
finance
think it's
department
something
right
to
now.
think about. We appreciate it. Okay, so moving on, we had, items placed at the request of the chair. So considerations to be, actions to be taken by the Dunn County Fair Board to amend the Fair Board bylaws that, first of all. Larry did everybody see this letter, Larry, or just me, or?
I got it this morning, today, gave it to you.
Okay, so what this letter is stating that,
It's from the corporate Dunn
Yeah.
County.
and that's fine, but talking with this James, I'd have to talk to him. So he hasn't been at any of our meetings, so he has no idea what we voted on. Or what we're doing as a fair board. Am I wrong about that, or? I haven't seen him here. I'd like
No,
to talk to
I-
him more about this.
Fine, the two questions I asked
Yep,
him are
so-
stated at the top.
Yep, so Larry had asked whether a person may be appointed to the Dunn County Fair Board as a non-voting member, and whether the Dunn County Fair Board may enter into closed session to deliberate regarding such an appointment. And he had responded, you want me to read this, or how do you want, are you
Well,
guys
I
gonna see
think
it?
it's important to the agenda item.
Okay, so again, this person hasn't been a part of our meeting and I haven't seen this guy, so,
No,
right.
this is the law. This isn't someone's opinion. This is the law.
Austin, with being under facilities, weren't we told that we could create any bylaws we wanted by Dan?
That was by
Yeah,
Dan, that's what
but-
I'm getting at. I guess I couldn't think of his name.
And I don't know if the question was, it's just, the way that I read that, it says you can't be appointed, but it doesn't say you can't be recommended, because right in there, it says only the county board can make recommendations. But just like the two recommendations we gave to the facilities committee, that gave to the county board of the two elections that extended terms to 2028. For you two, correct? Yeah, I don't see, it doesn't say it can't be recommended. I think if he was just in the loop on everything and having these bylaws in front of him, I think there'd be more of some context in this. But we can bring this up to him after tonight and I'll sit down and figure it out.
So does it pay to like read this and go over it until he has more understanding or information of what our bylaws say? Is it worth talking
I
about?
think it's worth tabling till it's talked about with Jim.
You gotta make a motion.
I think you just be able to just table it until next meeting.
Well, let's make a recommendation that we, put them on the board. And then we take that to the county board. And that they're a non-voting member. It's basically what we're trying to get out of this, right?
He has some verbiage about the non-voting member versus voting member too in there. So unless there's a huge rush on this, I think because the next meeting's in 2 weeks, so we might have,
Let's table it then.
Well, just so you know, county board does not recommend anyone to the fair board. Fair board makes a recommendation to the county board chairman, and the county board chairman makes the appointment to the fair board. And then that appointment comes before the board, but the appointment to the fair board comes from county board chairman. And I take great issue with the fact that we would have a person on our board that we expect to work in concert with the rest of us and then deny a vote. I mean, maybe next year, I don't want to MC the tractor pulling contest. Well, would you then say, well, we're going to appoint a county board member or a fair board member with no voting privileges, but we expect you to run the kitty tractor pull? Or I kind of think the way it's been, except for me being a slacker, that when there's posts to pound or gates that move, fair board members all pitch in and do the job. So do we really want to start a point where, yeah, you work in the commercial building and you're a non-voting member, so we can't ask you to walk across the street and have and help with one of the small animal shows, or specific duties are not what we're all about. We're all about the Dunn County Fair. And I think we all pull the rope to the best of our ability, and we all should be given a chance to be part of the team pulling the rope. And pulling the rope means being able to vote.
I agree with that, Larry, but what we talked about last time was it wasn't the part of she couldn't do anything. It was the part that was a family member, if I'm not mistaken, through the whole group. Okay?
Fine, well,
And that's the issue that we had. It wasn't the issue with she's who she is. It was an issue of that she was a family member. And
Well,
that's where
where-
it came to,
where did the discussion go then?
we all
If
voted,
you have,
did we not?
Yeah, we
well,
all.
fine, but I'm asking you, where was the discussion lost that if you have two members on a family, that only one vote for family? Where did that go?
We all talked about that. I mean, you guys all talked about it. We
Okay.
amended it in,
Well, we're just discussing. the
right,
motion.
yeah, we're discussing it, yeah,
You
that's
know,
what we're
so,
doing.
you
And
know,
then I asked if we can take it back to Mr. McNamee to ask him about our laws. That's all I was asking. There was a motion through Jeff that had made, you second it, we're in discussion about this letter. But if we can ask him about what we have in our bylaws. Okay? Okay, am I wrong? Yeah, go ahead.
So we can do whatever we want if we change the bylaw to whatever fits our board, right? So is that what we're trying to say?
Well, I think our bylaws have to fit within the county bylaws, like,
Right.
we can't,
But the county is the one that told us in the first place to go ahead with what we had, is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
And that's all the thing, you voted, and you told us that night that it was okay, and you guys all
Yeah.
put forth. So now I'm trying to be like, whoa, where'd this come from after the county said that we could do it? And then this, Mr. Moni told us that we're out of line now. So I'm just trying to get clarification. I wish he was here. I wish he would have came and give us clarification after the county board voted that our rules that we had set forth is okay. No, right, Ron, or no? Okay,
Yeah, you're
yeah, okay.
I never voted to exclude a person because of their age.
Oh, it
It
wasn't
wasn't
an age.
because of it wasn't because of age, it's because it was a family member, Larry.
Okay, where does family member ends? Second cousins, first cousins, third cousins, where does it end? And when is a young woman? I mean, does she have to have, an address and a bill from utility to say that she's her own person?
And I, maybe I should have just not nominated
I
this
never voted
person.
for that.
Yes, you did,
No,
Larry.
I didn't.
The hell you did. But the thing is,
No,
and I know
didn't.
Ann is very responsible and a grown adult, but we voted that only one family, if you have multiple family members on the board, you get one vote.
Well, that's a different saying.
That's what we've been saying the whole.
I think the problem is the fact that this position is called a non-voting member because it was made tailored around me. So what we're getting at is if dad's gone, I then don't have a vote, even though there's still one family member. And like after I leave, it'd be really hard to hire a new person who's a non-voting member.
You get a vote, you and your dad can discuss the vote and you have a vote between the two of you. So if your dad is not here, you got,
But then I just can't vote at that meeting because it's just me and I'm a non-voting member.
No, you vote for him.
yeah, you can vote for him.
He's not here and it's our
And
vote.
It's, you have a combined vote.
So even though it says I'm a non-voting member, I could
You're.
vote for
It's
him.
a family, am I?
Yes, it's a family. As you as a family, you have a vote together.
Can we have this position be a voting member and still have that, can both be true? Can I be a voting member, but because there are two of us here, we have one shared vote?
I think we just need to have Jim give us clarification.
Well, that's,
I think that's what Jeff, that's
Yeah.
what Jeff's motion was.
yeah.
So I
Well,
think,
and Troy seconded,
That's why-
yeah,
there's the
second,
discussion,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
And I-
and that's all we wanted. We
Yeah.
want, what I recommended, the same thing that you did. I wish that Jim was,
Yep.
Mr. Matt Camoni was here.
Yeah,
Right.
That probably gave us clarification on
Yeah.
what we're
Right.
doing, right?
I
Right.
think, yeah,
Is
because
that
I
fair?
agree with what you're saying. That's
That's
what
fair.
we were thinking.
Okay,
It's just not fair to exclude a person because of their age.
or where they live.
I hear you, but
You're not thinking straight.
I see it right on the wall. I see it right on the wall.
You know, it would be strange if I found out that I was related to you there, sir.
okay. So we're gonna table this until we talk to Mr. Matt.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. All right, so now we're gonna move to table A and B. Can't talk. All right, we're gonna move to the food vendors. Everybody got their packet from last time with the food vendor stuff?
It's in this one too, the updated one.
Yeah, updated one?
Yeah, I had updated it prior to even knowing it was gonna come before the,
Okay, yep.
so that
Thank you, Deb.
they were ready to go. I do a lot of this updating stuff like right after the fair as I work through stuff, so it was already updated for 2026.
You want to reference anything that number it is in your packet, so that's what Jim added in the.
Can you summarize them? Because that's really hard to read. Or is it printed here? It's printed here? Okay, Okay,
Three is
yeah.
clean. 6, 7, 8. 2, 9, and 1. 3, 5, 8, 9, and 11.
okay. Okay. Okay, so number 3 talks about payment and a completed application. Oh, this is food, never mind.
Oh,
No, I. Okay.
Can you summarize it all, Austin, what he changed? Real quickly, would that be the easy way? Because this is, the original contract was all written by Nick Lang. So it's just Jim's interpretation. I don't know if it's hard for you to do that or, compared to the old one. I didn't bring my old one with, fortunately.
I.
I recognize some of the same things, but
Austin, but this is what corp counsel needs us to have in there, so,
That's what he read.
I mean, so.
okay, so this is written by your lawyer.
Yeah.
And so basically, there's not much we could really change if we wanted to in there anyways.
well, we
It's his
could,
recommendation.
yeah, it's his recommendation. We could go back and,
All
I
I
think if it's
Questions?
protecting us, then,
I'll pull up the-
Right,
if it's protecting us, then, yeah,
it'd be nice to have a lawyer
yeah.
that wrote it up, have it back.
You think, you see anything big difference here, Deb, or what you're,
I'm just kind of reading
The
through.
wording in number 3, I'll read what or what was previously on there, but you can just infer what's different. In the previous version, number 3, payments must accompany all applications. Form is required even if you are not selling items. Or if you were a nonprofit organization, but I think just with verbiage is strengthening that by saying payment and complete application are required. That voting for the change. Strengthening number 6. Previous version was cancellation clause. In the event the fair is canceled due to a pandemic. Or act of God, a full refund to all paid food vendors will be provided within 1 month of the announcement of cancellation. Is changed, some of the verbiage in there.
there it is. I was just gonna ask that. You guys good on the verbiage part?
Yep.
And then we can go to the vendor space fee that we have down here. Right now, it's a base fee of $500 with 12% of sales over 3,000. And then if they sign up, that's through, right, Deb? Is that how you have it? Through June 30th, and then after July 1st, if they sign up after that, they're $575 with 12% of the sales. Final payment is due July 27th.
Right.
Okay. Now,
And the reason why the final payment, and I don't know, that probably could be,
oh,
no, that's their commission.
yeah, but is
Payment.
that the day, or, oh, I'm sorry, is that? Oh my gosh, that was the end of the fair that Sunday.
Yes, then that
Yeah.
should be changed to the 26th. That
Yeah.
was missed. I'm sorry. It should be, but I think we can reword that by saying, the 12% is due Sunday by 3 PM. The Sunday of 3 PM, because that is confusing, because it almost looks like they can pay part of it and then pay the remainder of it. Well, what that's trying to do, and Nick wrote it that way, and I never even thought about it until now you're just talking about it, is what was due is the 12% of their sales piece is due by 3 PM on Sunday afternoon. But the other, the 500 and the 575 is all due prior to the states.
Do you happen to know, and you probably don't right off the top of your head, what each food vendor would have paid last year?
Last year, I think it was all of them combined. I think it
No,
was.
each one's separate.
Except that we don't
Austin
have-
has it, but I think it was like $2,600 total.
2839.02.
Some vendors as little as $88
Yeah, there was one. That was,
from Domino's, and then some close to 1,000.
PJ's, not
PJ's.
Captain PJ's, but Anderson's PJ, the French fry cheese curds. He's he's really good about paying, and he comes over and pays the cash. His was like $918, I know that.
So is
We
that
did get-
payment just
Pardon
the
me?
commission, or is that?
That's what I was just.
Yeah,
that was-
Yes, that's just commission.
Just-
Oh, that's because that's. like,
Yeah, because they
this-
pay the 500 and the 575.
Okay.
Or most, they all pay before. Yeah, they all pay the 500. It's just the commission. The little
So 500.
Captain TJ's says he never makes them enough. And he might not, because you can tell by the grass and stuff how much traffic he gets, and 4-H has never paid a commission afterwards.
What about Farm Bureau?
Farm Bureau has not either, because their sales aren't that strong, either. They don't, haven't. And the, Lucky Eights, she told me that they didn't make enough this year. It was too hot. And the Vela Tacos was the same way. And, Big Girls, they made enough, but then they reduced the amount they paid because facilities unplugged their freezers and they lost some product. They unplugged their freezers on Monday morning before they got here. They have till Tuesday to come get it. The facilities crew was picking up all their stuff. They unplugged their trailer and the freezers got unplugged. So theirs was lower, but they did send us money.
Is there any way instead of like, and I've been thinking about just driving up and down the road, instead of worrying about the 12%, right? Say if realistically, the amount, what was there, 6 vendors out there, and so we
Yeah,
maybe, or 8 vendors out there, so we really made about, what, $400, a vendors, 350. Would it be easier just to say, hey, we're gonna charge $750, $800 for a spot up front, and then you don't have to worry about it if they wanna. The more we talk about it, it's harder to not have cash at the fair, is what people's telling us, and if we just get the money up front, then we don't have to worry about them, whether they're putting money in their pocket and not telling us, just pay us up front and we'd be the same or probably money ahead.
It will.
I think it'll chase some away, but I think also like the ones that do really well, it's gonna benefit the ones that do well. And what, I guess my thought was try to make the ones that aren't as good, make them better, so, or you get a different, get
I
new
kinda-
vendors.
I kind of agree with that, philosophy, only because they're not being honest from what we've heard. So I guess what your point is, that's something to think about.
It's something to think about just for the fact too. About we're changing how it's paid, and how it's done, we're doing sell tickets or whatever, so we can keep a track of this going on. So, to beat us around the corner, we had talked about it a little bit, so, I mean, something there too.
Yeah, and that, like, one of the food vendors that are there, I went to grade school and high school with him, and he says that 99% of them out there are not being honest, because if they're getting paid cash.
We need to make this, more accountable what we can. Anyway.
Right, but like with them with tickets, the problem is all the food items are different priced, right? So that's why that's why my thought process was simple, stupid. Pay it up front. The guys that did do really well at our fair is gonna wanna come back, cause they'll actually make more money. And the ones that don't sell or say their food isn't as good, maybe we can replace them with,
From what you were saying, if it's $500.
on average, but like say like Domino's, when they only turn in $84, Domino's is gonna have to pay more up front, because of, pay more overall,
I see where you're-
right?
I don't think they make much more than that. Because they showed me their receipts.
Well, and if that's all they're selling, then we try to find a new vendor to go in their
There was a
spot.
new vendor
If
that
they're
wanted to
not-
come in that was
And
good,
that
so
kind of
that,
falls on our shoulders. Need to draw people in here during the day to help this up a little bit.
Right.
During the day, nothing.
and that's
Right.
what, yeah, that's what the point of.
Right, and some of it is
Yeah,
too,
January and trying to think of
Yeah.
this stuff.
and that's like I even told the Derek, you know, like say Thursday night with Chris Cruz, he's gonna be there and we, depend on what we charge at the gate, if we keep it the same or whatever, that place is gonna be packed, right?
Sure hope.
You know, well, it better be, I hope anyway, right? So you would wanna be a food vendor coming just that one night, you can make a pile of money just in one night, right? You know, so that's, I was just thinking of the simplicity of it for us as a fair board of
Something we need to talk about.
How long do we have though before we have to send in, just a question? I mean, we have until like the first, or one of these normally sent out March or
I send them out in January.
January?
For the 1st of January,
Okay, so,
or I did previously.
yeah, so we have maybe another meeting or so. Anybody else have any thoughts about it? Oh, Scott. Oh, no.
Well, I just wondered for the honor system, how do you can check to see how much sales they made? You can't.
Right,
Well, you
So,
know, they made good if, I always look at how much grass is dead in front of their trailer, because you know, if they don't have a lot, you know, if there's been a lot of traffic
I know.
and stuff, but yeah, and you have to be somewhat honest, and working with food vendors from my experience from the state and being on, listening to panels at the convention and stuff is, you try to be as honest as you can. You try to treat them right, and then hopefully they will treat you the same way. And the only way that we can really police this more is if we go to a system like Chippewa or State Fair does, where they sell them all of their cups and plates and everything, and then you give them you sell them the plates and the cups, and then you have a count of how many they got, and you know how much they sold. But I, no, and I do know that Big Girl said that if we do get any more, that he won't come back because our fair is not big enough to support any more food stands, and that's why I've kept it at the level it has been,
where
because
was Big Girls last year?
right outside the fair office.
Yeah, no, I meant like, where was their, I
Oh,
mean, how much they made? I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah.
it might be
No.
he was new.
it's just. We lose people, but there's always people that wanna come in. and
Yeah, I
try.
have a waiting list. But it's partly because of the way we treat them too.
Well,
My only thought is if we were gonna make a change, hate to blame the county, but it's an easy scapegoat. Just from the standpoint to say, okay, we're gonna go to a flat rate, getting rid of 12% because the county, everything needs to be billed through the county. That's the way everything needs to go going forward. And they wanna know what it is, the 12%, we can easily say they don't like that idea. That, you know, it's an unknown amount. How do they bill out 12% when they don't know what that is? To say, we're gonna go to a flat rate of $800, that's about what it works out to. And, you know, half is due upfront, half after the fair. And blame it on you know, it'd be an easy scapegoat to blame it on the county for this first year making that change.
Derek, to answer your question, Big Girls paid a commission of $560. And then, but that's because they lost product.
Even
Because
if-
she had a check for me that
Yep.
was it was like almost $1,000.
so even if she didn't lose product, and we're still, even if we knock off $50 to make it, it's just discussion here, right?
Yep.
So if we're just saying, okay, it's $700 for the first year, and it's,
Mhm.
I like the idea, because it takes more accountability into these people, and I get what you're saying, it might chase a few of them away, but we do have other people that, what's your friend was talking, that want to come in too, that different pizza guy or whatever. But anyway, if Domino's only did do $84, maybe they're not the people to have there anymore. Maybe it's old news and we do need to bring in somebody else.
Sure.
And I'm not saying that I don't know what the right amount is, but I do agree that we need to check and balance, and we don't want it at them telling us what they did. We don't have a card system. So, I guess, what do you guys?
one of my favorite ice cream people that used to show up, I asked them at the St. Croix County Fair why they don't come back to our fair. Because they say they don't make any money,
Yeah, they don't make enough
and that's why they don't come anymore.
to pay the 500 plus the commission.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we can talk about going to a flat rate. You guys want to table this till next meeting? Think about it?
I think so.
On a table. Okay, what we're gonna approve is the,
So
go ahead.
it's, if you didn't even take the 12%, but just kept the flat 500 and it saved money for some of these other vendors to actually bring a few more in. Something to think about for you.
Yeah, you're saying keep the 500, take away the 12%.
So they're not getting chipped there, that
Yeah,
Then bring in, say,
few
12
more.
people instead of
Yeah.
8.
Do we have,
I was gonna ask how many plugins do we have?
we don't have power for that many. That's the problem. We'd have to upgrade those power pads.
Didn't we talk about that with Brady, that CVTC or something was gonna come over and?
Yeah, the goal was this fall or no, next spring. But I don't have an update on that, but that would be the goal.
You just have to replace that one plug-in tree in the middle with modern plug-ins, then we might get to
That
add
that
more.
would help.
Bigger fan.
how many do you have out there? You don't know? No.
They're out there for electricity.
You know, probably not, but it's something we can look at, but yeah, that's a great, I mean, that's a great idea, but we're gonna go ahead and accept.
Do we have to vote on tabling it?
Well, I was gonna ask if you were gonna accept this and we can vote, that way we're not going through two things. Right? Vote
I
on-
make a motion to approve the verbiage on the food vendor policies.
I'll second it.
All in favor,
Aye.
opposed? Okay. Passes there, and then,
I would actually make a motion.
Yeah.
To change our rate to a base rate of just $500 and $575 and nothing on the 12%. And run with that for 1 year. That's the motion I'm putting out there.
there's a motion on the table, anybody want a second that? Larry?
Is this the blame the county motion?
Well, that's part of it, and when we get to discussion, I will explain my thinking.
The
Is that a
second that we
real-
can discuss.
Is that a real, good to go, or are you just playing with it?
No, I'm good to go.
So you make this, okay,
I'll second that.
okay, now a
Yeah,
discussion.
here's my thinking is Austin brought up a good point is maybe if we charge a little bit less, but we bring in 2 more food vendors, because maybe we can get, the ice cream people, they're not paying 12% on top of the 500. Maybe at the 500, they're like, hey, we can come back for that. And then we don't have to worry about chasing the 12% around. I think maybe we could bring in maybe there's some dessert people or something, there's a couple things that are maybe missing out there. Ice cream person, the donut people, maybe at that 500, it's enough versus, $1,200 that they would have had to pay.
Or a coffee person.
Or a coffee place, something like that, cause I know like when we had the coffee shop out there that 1 year, we wouldn't have made enough money to do the fair again. At the $500, if we would just pay that, not the 12%, and not wouldn't have had to pay above that, then it probably would have been worth the time.
The only question I have going on to that is how do you ask for more going forward?
You can always raise
Yeah, you
the
can.
rates.
Just what, $25?
We raised it in 2022.
Yep.
Or 2025, 2020, let me see, I looked it up.
2 years ago.
Well, so maybe I should
So-
amend it. Let me amend it to actually make it like 550 or 600.
I'll do 550.
I've been thinking, I like the idea of 600. We need to keep ours.
Right, it raises it up a little bit, but it's not,
No,
it's not a great increase to 850 because that might be sticker shock. And then it's a
You
simple.
gotta do-
I make amendment to change my original to a base of 600 and after July 1st, it's 650.
Any discussion on that? Larry?
The only question I have is, what's going to be the footprint, is of this, we're going to be taking down, 10 or 12 ash trees along the road. I mean, is there a possibility that our court would be wider?
Could be.
as far as, your,
Are you talking about just bringing in more vendors, you're saying, or?
yeah, I mean, if you were talking about, of course, see, the thing is with a vendor, they're like the Dunn County dairy farmer. Well, if you don't have enough money, you just tell you gotta have more money. Well, I guess that isn't like the Dunn County dairy farmer.
What are you trying to say about me, Larry?
It's like, I mean, if the charge to come in there goes up,
Yeah,
maybe your hot dog's gonna cost you another quarter or something like that. They have the opportunity to do that. But then also just looking forward to facilities, when you take out that row of trees, along the road, I mean, there's a dozen of them there that are ash that are all gonna be gone, and then that area is gonna be,
you
could
can
be
expand
twice as
is what
much.
you're saying.
If there's anything, when you're adding stuff.
Yep,
We don't wanna get too many more vendors in here.
They won't be happy.
Make it.
Yeah,
yep,
But if this next year gets, you take it down just like nobody rode the community bus around town. And then we made it free and made people understand it, utilize it, and then charged $1 a rider a year later. And now there's 150 riders yesterday. When 3-4 years ago, nobody rode it at all. So if you make it big, you take that little bit of a loss there, but they'll make it up in other places with just more people coming. I think with just more to do, more to see. So many people go to fairs just to rave about the food, but if you get through it all and, 5 vendor stops. Anyways,
yeah. And you do have to remember that the carnival has food too, so.
okay,
When we talk about how many to bring in, but
there's, we discussion, go to a vote, all in favor
Of the amendment,
of the amendment, well, $600 for a vendor and $650 after July 1st. All in favor, say aye.
I,
Opposed? Okay. Thanks, Scott.
Well, that way, plus then we can get these. That way we, instead of waiting until January, maybe we try and get them out in November. That way, if there is any kickback from like Captain PJ or, just as an example, that way we know a little bit sooner that, okay, we're not gonna have X vendor here or Domino's or whoever that they're not gonna be here. So that way we have time to replace them versus, waiting and not finding out till March.
if there's a waiting list, how do we pick who gets picked?
That, yeah, I was gonna ask, do you guys, somebody said it, we're gonna make a cut, is what I thought.
well, we'll have to figure out first how many we can,
Well, how many will come in?
yeah,
Yep, and we'll go from there and then can make that cut
Yeah.
after we send stuff out, right?
yeah.
We'll know.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna go to, review and approve the Lions Club contract.
What about the commercial?
Did I miss something, Deb?
The commercial,
Oh, did I?
No,
Thought-
commercial
It's next.
yeah, sorry.
Okay, so review and approve the Lions Club contract. The Lions Club, I talked to,
Commercial's fine.
Wyatt, at a get together. No,
What is
it-
the Lions Club contract? What's it for?
we didn't get the Lions Club contract from Mercedes.
Okay,
And then Wyatt said that he would come in and talk to us on our next meeting. He'd love to discuss the fair board with the fair board.
Yeah.
The next, how we go forward. He had ideas that he wanted to bring forth to the board, so I thought that was great.
can I do what?
What do you mean?
What are they doing? What's the contract for?
Well, so Derek and I were together and like before we used
Yeah,
to buy the beer and stuff like that. The fair board used to buy the beer and which, and we'd pay them.
Oh, it's for the
but-
selling beer.
Yeah, for the.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's for the beer or
Yeah.
beer selling, whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, there's really no contract is proposed, right? It was just, for the beer sales themselves. He wants to come in here,
Mhm.
let us know his ideas, talk to us, get to know us type of deal, meet and greet. He was
And-
excited about it. I forget the other guy's name, but they were excited about it. He emailed me actually yesterday. Jim? And he emailed me yesterday, Wyatt did. And I said we have our meeting tonight, that we would, put him on the agenda for when we have our next meeting here.
Yep.
So I didn't know when that would be, so I couldn't give him a time.
Well, that's good. And the reason why that we went to them selling and purchasing the beer and then they pay for it and then they just pay us our 50% is because then we didn't have to handle the sales tax and figure that all out. That's all on them. Because you do have to pay sales tax on beer.
Yeah, and that's something that I
And
want to
so-
hear them, you know,
Yeah.
I think that the whole board
Yep.
can hear them
Right.
discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then we should also invite the Fish and Game because they do the grandstand.
that was, didn't, the last, if I'm not mistaken, was
Helen.
it that,
Kellen,
yeah, but Johnny Johnson talked about that, didn't he? He was supposed to come back. Am I not mistaken?
so,
No.
no. Because the beer has always been through the Fish and Game and we sell it under the grandstand and racing.
Lions,
No, Fish and Game up at the grandstand.
we're all learning something.
From the Lions Club.
The Lions Club sells it on the free stage area. Lions, well, they probably go in or maybe they're members of both. But Kellen manages the one up there and that's from the Fish and Game. It is, I know for a fact, because we get the check from the
That's
Fish and
fine.
Game and
You
that's
do
what
that.
my deal was. And then, the Lions Club used to do them both and they did not want to do both anymore. They only wanted to do the free stage area. So then we had to find somebody new. And so we found the Fish and Game. And the Fish and Game is really nice because any beer that's open in the trailers, they take back and sell it. And we don't have to deal with open cases with them.
But the fishing game is the grandstands.
Correct.
Okay, we can get them on the agenda, yes.
Okay, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
the next one will be the Lions Club. I'll get, do
Yep.
you have the contact
Yep.
for the fishing?
For Fish and Game, Kellen,
No. Lions Club?
No, I got Lions Club. Fishing game is Kellen.
Kellen.
Okay. And we can get Kellen on the schedule for a later date, but we can talk to him. So Lions Club is just the review. They're gonna come in here, talk about what they're looking forward to.
All right. Sorry. I was just real confused.
Okay. All right, now Deb, you want, or,
Oh, I got
oh,
one question.
yep, sorry.
Is there a contract in place for the Lions Club?
That's
and-
what he's coming to find out.
Right, 'cause-
This is a Deb question and,
'Cause-
Mercedes, I asked for that and she's obviously not here.
Um,
Because
Was there?
There is a contract, after they took that over for us and we paid, and then we meet afterwards and settle up, on what it is.
Yep,
Then we didn't do the contract because it was their event.
cause they send us a check now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
but going forward, they'd be considered a vendor, correct? So we do need
That's, yeah,
a different, it can't be one of these because it's a little bit different, but we
Right.
do need
a vendor.
a vendor agreement
Agreement.
that's signed, that's approved by
Yep.
the county.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, when. he
And I
comes-
have the old one that I can certainly share.
Well, I talked to Wyatt too about like the idea of like tickets, so, you can say, hey, X amount of beers were sold and this was, and he said that
Vendor.
Dean Leckler would come through the phone and strangle me if we said that, but, that was how many years ago, is there, cause before it's like, well, they used to sell 12 packs and 6 packs and single beers. Well, you can have 3 different colored tickets too, right? This color is for a 12 pack, this color is for a 6 pack, or, so just kind of talked with Wyatt on that, so that way you can sit there, again, we made our half was $1,000, but how many beers were really sold, right?
How about a 12-pack? My colors would be all.
I do have that if you want it.
What's that?
How many beers they sold? How much beer they sold?
Yeah, no, I'm just going by off of
Yeah.
like what Mercedes and them have said in the past, right? When we go through the financials that they want to be able to actually track stuff, right? Like track how many people come in the gates and stuff like that. So I'm not saying it needs to be, is it even,
Yeah, you had that right.
is it even feasible for them to be able to do that, right? So.
Okay, so we're gonna move to that, to getting them next time and talking to the Lions Club. Okay, next, we're gonna update and approve the commercial building and look at the commercial building exhibiting contract, which is here and up there. Okay, so,
Austin, are there any changes above 11?
Nope.
Thank you.
thanks, Scott.
11, 12, 13, 16. Then. And
Deb, do you know how many vendors we had in the commercial building or exhibitors we had this last year?
Oh, yeah. I knew I should have brought my laptop. It needed to be charged and
I can see there needs to be one change. The commercial building will be secured nightly at 10 PM. That needs to be changed. I think we closed the commercial building at 9:30. Otherwise there will be vendors that complain that they're getting booted out at 9:30 and not 10.
Yeah,
It was 9:30. We talked about 9, but we made it 9:30.
9:30, yeah.
And I think we could probably make it 9. After 9 o'clock, it gets pretty lonely in there.
Where do you see the top? Where do you see that, Scott?
8,
Number 11.
11,
Because right above in bold print, it's 8 and 9 is the hours. So that's just it was just missed on there. Okay, up above on number 8 and 9, it talks about that it's closed at 9:30 and then on Sunday at 3:30. And then
really have a.
Right, it's at 9, but it does need to be changed there because if it says that it's,
Yeah.
there will be a vendor at some point that is there at 9:55 complaining that they're getting kicked out because it says in the contract in a different line that it's not locked till 10.
Okay, what this was supposed to say and what it was intended to say is that the building is close to the public at 9:30 or whatever time. And then they have till 10 o'clock to clean up their space and then they have to be out of there by 10. And it's probably not stated very clear. But that's what it was intended, Scott. Shoot, I closed that.
Yeah, it says open to the public
Yeah,
and then exhibitors.
because that's when your crew does their final sweep and make sure everybody is
So
out of there.
Deb, do you know how much money was paid off of these people in the commercial building?
Yep, I can tell you. I just closed it, darn it. We made $4,440 total with table rental and so forth, 3,900 for just space. Now that included outdoor vendors also.
So how much did we pay for like the pipes and drapes and all that stuff? So you're saying we made $4,000?
That's what we took in.
That's what we took in,
From outside too.
$4,440.
right? So then what does our pipes and drapes cost a year?
Five outdoor vendors.
Yeah.
Is all that paid.
So do we know what pipes and drapes cost?
A second.
Well, she's looking that up. So Tractor Central and Johnson Tractor, are those considered outdoor booth spaces?
Yes.
Where they get all of that for $100?
That's a deal with the NTPA.
Okay.
Because we use their equipment and that far exceeds what I would be charged an hourly, hours on that equipment for the pull, so they get their space free.
Okay.
Pipe and drape was $864. Yes, we don't provide anything for outside, no tables, no anything. They just get their space. They have to bring their own stuff for outside.
32, but 5 of them were outside though too,
Right.
that we included then on that board.
Right around 2,800.
But outside is only $100 because we don't give them anything else.
So that 5 less 500, that's
Yeah.
$2,700
Yeah, say $2,700.
is what we make inside of that.
That'd be fair, Deb, to say that we made about $2,700 off
After the pipes and drapes.
after the pipes and drapes and the 5 that are outside.
$3,080 I show. 3,000,
1,080.
3,080. Cause I had 440, 440, and then 860 and 500 for the outdoor. So you're talking, I'm just talking about indoor, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
just,
Yep,
Yeah, so $3,080.
3,200.
$3,080. 3080.
So don't we have to take bids on the pipes and drapes too, or we just pick and choose what we want?
Well, under
It's
the
under-
policy, I suppose it'll have to be, but we won't find.
if it's under a certain amount of money, we don't need to.
Yeah, 4,000.
So it's under 4,000, it's $800 if we, my thing is, I guess what I was asking is for just thinking, you know, sometimes like you get the Democrats and the Republicans and all stuff in there, you sit there and sometimes scratch your head of what kind of value is it bringing, you know, in there. And so it's, I would just, I don't know what I was really thinking on it. I guess I just want to know how much, you know, for say $3,000 in there, is there something different we can do, you know, can you bring in like a golfing simulator and do a golf thing in there, you know, or you can do it like with bow arrow, you know, like Ryan Sports Shop, they have it, is there something else? Instead of taking up the whole thing with that kind of stuff, the younger generation likes games and stuff like that, is that something to draw new, different people into the fair? It's, you need to fill it as full as what we had, pipes and drapes could be cheaper, you know, and maybe something like that, you could. I don't even know if there's anybody out there that can bring that stuff in or do that, but it was, I guess, a thought on my end.
Any more discussion on that?
Larry's our commercial guy.
For example, you know, what generates the most traffic is the two political parties. And we keep one at each end, and I think we switch them around
Mhm.
from end to end. Next, biggest activity in there is, Fleet Farm. And they give away a lot of swag and, you kind of thing. Sheriff's Department is a big, going one, and then you got people that, are there for churches and they're for right to life people. And, it's full, and I'll speak for Zach, and hopefully that Amy is a fantastic worker in the barns, and we were hoping to get some help for her with registrations and things like that, but they're filled up. And I hear it a lot, mostly from the senior citizens. They bring in something that would hang on a wall, or like a quilt, or a picture, or something like that. We've got a lot of flat tables that take up a lot of space, but they'd really like to be able to display their stuff hanging up. So I'm just telling you what they're asking for. And
As a guy that's in there a lot, how do you see that happening? Like, what's your, I mean, when you look at it, you really can't change anything but what was happening this year, correct?
well, I'm in there every day, all day.
No, I'm,
And no, but you know, I didn't say.
I think there's
anything.
some things
I'm
that-
not saying I was awake the whole time.
I think there's things we can do in there, Derek. I think but that's not for today.
No,
Yeah,
yeah,
But I
I
think-
don't,
yeah.
yeah, I'm just asking in the contract because the contract, you know.
Well, and so if it's full in there,
I think it's full.
but then I guess my question is, are we asking enough money?
That's what I.
If it is full, right, do we up
Right.
that's
what we're
where-
charging in
Yeah,
there?
and that's where the
Yeah.
contract
Yeah.
stands is if we're gonna be happy with this money, are we gonna ask more? Are we gonna ask them not to come in? What do we wanna do?
Well, it seems to me the same people come back. And I mean, if you asked each one of them for an extra $15 or $20, I don't think you'd lose any. If you asked for another $50, you wouldn't, I mean, I don't know what kind of budgets Gideons have or the Right to Life or different insurance companies or water care systems. I don't know what their budget is.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of a nice place where people come in and sit down and visit. I mean, they're at the fair and you've been hiking all over, wanting to make sure that MAP's doing it right. A lot of people come in and say, well, we were down checking on MAP and could we sit down and discuss it? I said, yes. I said, "Well, there's nothing I can do for those guys."
Scott's got a
Deb,
question.
do you know how many of the vendors typically buy 2 spaces?
Not
That's-
more than 4 or 5, I
Or
would
by the
guess.
Republicans and the Democrats do that.
That's the only thing I would change at this point is if, whether you want, I think that additional space should still be $150 because if you didn't pay $150 for it, somebody else could. I don't think you should get half, I don't think you should get a discount for buying 2 spots.
Well, it's an issue, the whole fair, as far as leading over into the front of somebody else. Just happens every year.
Yeah, they moved their drape over, or pipe over.
And,
You're gonna-
and the other thing is, guys,
I would just leave the top one the same and I would just charge in my opinion, then I'd charge $150 for an additional spot. There's no discount. Yes, that, I don't think you should have a discount. There's a lot of places, like if you go down to any of the other trade shows anywhere, usually you don't get a discount for extra space.
Well, and I think it may be for today, just
Well,
until we make things change, right? But I think in the future, $150 to have a booth someplace is pretty darn cheap.
yeah, and I mean, what's the charge for electricity that we give them?
We don't charge them.
You don't charge them. Well, electricity is a big item for a few of them and
That's a big part.
having those electrical cords are, they kind of,
And do you put
They
something on there
react-
that you had $25 if you need electricity?
No, I think that you just put it in there in particular, that you just add that in there and. $150, you said 4, Deb?
What?
4 people get the additional space.
Yes. 4. There's 4. I knew the Republicans and Democrats, but I couldn't remember who else off the top of my head. I would rather see that we increase the booth space than start charging for electricity. Because then it's hard enough to track these tables.
How do you attract electricity?
Well, you don't, you
Oh,
You-
just,
you would-
it's basically
would
charging
add it.
more for booth space.
Yeah.
Right, is all.
What?
Well, it's either you charge more for the booth space, whether you say it's for the booth space or it's for
You would
electricity.
just include-
You're just gonna charge an extra $25.
Yeah. Because it's hard enough to track them down with the tables, to get the
Yeah.
$15 for the tables,
Yeah,
and they know where they are.
so.
yeah.
So Larry's watching all the time to make sure that, did you pay?
So we just charge $175 and not charge for the table and that way you don't have to,
Well, not charge for electricity
electricity
or
for the
the-
table.
or the
Yeah.
table.
That way you don't have to chase it down. We just put it in the price because everybody needs a table or two, right?
Yeah, well, a lot of them bring their own
Right, but we
because
just
of
put
the
it,
$15.
Then great,
So-
then they.
we just put it in there. That way it's all there and we don't, Larry doesn't have to worry about chasing some old person down trying to catch $15.
So folks can run when they're carrying a table.
When they're carrying the table.
So, you gonna make. a motion, you want me to-
And that,
That
out-
One more.
Austin,
just the outdoor booth space, size adjustable is just, I don't know if there's a way to to regulate that a little bit
Just the
better.
outdoor booth space and then make it the 10 by 10 like everybody
Well,
else is at, or
What
what?
if you got a tractor, you're gonna, that's more.
Well, I mean, they're 100 foot long spots.
Cause we kinda got our spots, like at the end of the beef barn on the one end and out in front, you know,
It doesn't have to be decided today or anything, but I think we could,
Well, except with the exception of like the implement dealers and the car dealers that come in, most of those people, they know that they have a 10 by 10 space. And so that basically the booth space is adjustable for like those implement dealers and the car dealers
Yeah,
and
those
and the other
guys are out anyway.
they're outside.
Right, they're out. So this is just for our,
like around the food.
yeah, around the food vendors,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the ones that are at the end of the commercial building
Yeah.
and on that street that goes down there,
like
there's
the fire
several of them.
pit sales guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those people, and I tell them that they have a 10 by 10 space if they need more. You know, this is how much, because I have those spaces all allotted.
What,
Larry,
how do we, how have we, set it up when the RTV guys, you know, got a line of 6 or 8 of them? I mean,
Yeah, that, whatever, well, we used to put them right in a booth, but I quit charging them for, or I quit getting a booth for them and we just fill them in, like you had them at the end of the building, kind
Right.
of in the commercial
Right.
building.
Or
The
ATV.
air
because
tech and stuff.
that's the kind of things that gets people into the building.
Yes,
I
exactly.
mean,
Yep.
you know, they're either trying to make it way to food stand or,
Simulators,
Yeah.
or what would we'd almost have to take the 4-H stuff up. There's not enough room in there. We don't need to bring this in. That stuff can't be outside.
No, exactly.
So what would we do with it?
Do we not have the book sale?
well, there's a good point.
It's something to think about. I've thought about that. I mean, if you didn't have a book sale, that would free up that other room for something.
We used to have open class in there.
You can always move the book sale back to the building where you have to unlock the door for them all the time.
Or we can move it back there if they really want to do it, because the people that want books will find them, or it's just an idea. I mean, we don't need to, I don't think we need to,
They do sell quite a bit. You'd be
They really?
surprised. Yeah,
They do.
They
But-
sell a lot.
I don't know if that's a tonight conversation, but that's food for thought is,
they're getting a little free, right, aren't they?
Yeah.
Roy? Yeah,
So can I make a motion yet?
sure. Can't stop.
So
you.
I'd like to make a motion that the indoor booth space goes to 175, the additional booth space would be 175. And then the outdoor booth space be 125. And no table cost.
And no tables?
Table.
Well, there'd be tables, but that'd be included with it.
Oh, you're including it?
Yes. 125 for outside.
Tables and electricity included.
Excuse me, Deb? What?
Tables and electricity included.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All right, discussion?
I think you should amend it, charge the same for every, inside, outside, because whether they want to be outside or inside, it's the same thing. And I don't, in my opinion, they should be the same. That you make it $175 for a spot to be at the.
Right. The only thing is like the building inside is locked up at the end of the day. The guys outside gotta pick stuff up and put it away and,
Weather permitting.
yeah, and it's a little less inconvenient to be.
I'm just saying,
And I guess the reason why I had it later or less is just because they're inconvenience if it's raining, they have to pick it up and put it away every night in a trailer or whatever that, so.
my 2 cents, I
Yep.
think they should all be the same. Only work 2 cents.
Larry, do you have an opinion about that? Or-
No,
Oh, sorry. You have an opinion, but are you gonna share it or?
Well, no.
Yeah.
I
no.
don't wanna, I think the outside exhibits really attract people. And, I don't, you know, for what they charge me for a pail of $5 hydraulic oil, I just $5. Well, anyway, I think they probably have the money to spend.
Okay.
Oh, what the heck, counties, we gotta find a way to make this a profitable venture. And if everybody pays a little bit more along the way and pulls a little bit on the rope, we're all gonna make this happen, so I would agree with Scott, let's make them same.
Do you know, Deb, when's the last time we raised the cost for the vendors?
We raised it in, 2022, the same time we did the food. We went to
Okay.
150.
Okay, so it's been 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, whether we go, whatever number it is, an increase rate is not something that anybody should really be like, oh my God, what's going on?
They'll
Because-
complain regardless.
Right, they will, but in the grand scheme of things, the price of everything is going
Gone up.
up, so this shouldn't be a huge surprise.
Yep.
And then
So-
the price will go up too.
The only other thing would be is if we make them the same, do we have room to let all of our outdoor vendors inside then if they want it? From what we have now?
Dollars.
$175.
Yeah,
We
And
increased-
so
But
that's
if,
a lot
they-
of
but
it.
if they still take their normal spots, right? What I'm saying is if we take the exhibitors that were in the building this year and they do keep it all the same, cause we don't know. And then we wanna take the outdoor vendors, say, hey, if it's the same for inside or outside now, I wanna be inside too. I might as well be inside. Do we have room for all of our exhibitors to be inside the commercial building?
And you wouldn't, not all of them will want to be in there.
Right, but I'm just saying maybe some,
Denise
maybe,
won't go inside the building. I've asked her before if she'd rather be inside and she absolutely not.
right, but some of them might,
Yeah.
right? You know, I'm just asking.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that could be, oh, yeah.
I think we
Well,
just get somewhere.
Yeah, well, there's a
Yeah.
motion, there's a
Right.
motion on the
There's a
table.
motion that's been seconded.
And then it's seconded,
Yeah.
so, yeah, and there was discussion. So if
So we
you
can
guys
get-
are ready for a vote, we can go with
Yeah,
that.
but, yeah,
Oh, sorry.
well, but,
No, he can't amend it. He
Yeah,
has to go through a
right.
vote. So the indoor booth space at 175 is the motion. The booth space, is 175 for the additional. Outdoor is 100 and set 25.
Mhm.
And that includes tables and electricity. Can I get all in favor? Aye?
I,
Okay, all opposed to that? Okay, that passes 175, 175, 125, and that includes tables and electricity.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Watch. Feeling good. Yeah, so now we, the band contracts, this one.
Do we have
Oh,
to
sorry.
approve the policies?
What did I do? The policy that was set forth, forgot about that,
gotta change that
on,
time. though.
commercial exhibitor policies and regulations, there's a,
That was my only question. I understand. Deb kind of answered it. That's just my only question is that time on number 11 of 11 PM, 10 PM.
so what do you want to?
I don't know.
Cause it says secured nightly, not closed nightly, and that's the caveat that we always
Right,
use.
right.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't need to be changed? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I think reads okay because it's close to the public and that gives them time to put their stuff away, pick up all their stuff, and then they have till 10 o'clock to get out. And then
So,
Austin's crew will close it
so,
at 10.
Yeah.
Secure the building.
that's good. Okay.
We'd love to do it at 9:30.
Yeah, okay,
I make a motion to approve the policies as written.
give you a second. Larry second, discussion? No more, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion, that passes. All right, now we're gonna move on to the band contracts. Which I lost now with all this discussion. So,
I think they were in last month.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. So, yes, start with. All right. We're gonna start with so we have Thursday night already done, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Who is Thursday night?
Chris Cruz.
He's gonna be on free stage, not on the grandstand? Okay, but this is free stage.
Right.
Are we
What time
talking?
will the cruise start?
You not at the grandstand.
No, he was out in the,
Yeah.
Right, he's somewhere different. He's not on the
Yeah.
free stage, but
Yeah.
what time is Chris Cruzy starting?
7
7
to 10.
7 to 10.
Okay,
Do we want somebody on the free stage from 4 till 6, 4 till 7?
We don't have any, I don't have anybody.
you didn't have any, okay.
I left it open because I knew this other stuff was coming and I didn't know how we wanted to do that.
Well, can we back up, please? So we
Yep.
gonna go to Wednesday?
Yep.
Which is, homegrown tomatoes.
Yep.
Okay, they are from 6 to 9 right now. Their cost is $1,450. Am I reading that right?
Mhm.
Okay, so my only thing looking at this is the time.
Can we do like a 7 to 10? Cause I know like talking to Wyatt and stuff like that too, that people say that we're hanging out in the beer tent or whatever in that area, all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock and there's no more music. Or whatever that they thought.
And it was only, we got this year, and he did it the same way as this year, because this year they asked to be done at 9 because they had to be someplace at 6 in the morning or something. They were
that maybe
leaving. So, I mean,
And maybe-
And it is a Wednesday night, it maybe ain't the biggest deal. on
crowd
Monday.
kind of leaves a little bit on a Wednesday night anyway. So,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
We still
So
gotta
Wednesday-
get them in there. too,
So-
and-
Yeah, so Wednesday's probably all right at 6 to 9.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we're gonna go to Thursday, and you had asked, okay, sorry. go ahead.
Right, I just asked, do we want to have somebody there earlier in the evening before Chris Cruzy's at? That was my only question.
So, 1 second again. Homegrown tomatoes for Austin, that passed, right? Same
Yeah.
time?
Right.
Okay. Sorry, thank you. Okay, and so you're asking about who, if we want somebody there prior to Chris Cruzy to get the crowd hype, basically.
Basically, there's gonna be people coming in, obviously early. Do we,
Might as well have a band, I think.
do you find a cheap band and some local cover band,
yeah, well, Nick had somebody that he suggested, but I can't find them. I found somebody very similar. But it's just a guy and a gal singing, and I'm not sure if that's who it is. So we need to,
Yeah, Nick.
my lady or.
Yeah, he has his
uh,
guys that he gets all the time.
Yeah, there was somebody that he suggested that we could use on a Thursday. Boots and Bling were really good last year, and I had a lot of positive comments on them.
Which
but-
one was that?
That was the,
Three ladies.
the three ladies,
Heck,
Yeah,
yeah, I
but they're-
picked them again before.
Yeah, but I didn't see him in here, that's why I was.
because I haven't done anything on Thursday, because I
I
didn't,
would
Well, I
have
didn't
those.
Yeah, they,
They were good.
they're pricier.
How much is the price?
Um,
We know
I don't know, on a 4 to 6, that'd only be 2 hours. Is that what you're thinking, Troy?
or 4 to 6 or Scott.
4 to 6:30, 4 to 6:30, something like that, just something like that. And I don't even know if it needs to be an expensive band, if there's.
That's what I'm thinking, because Boots and Bling is more expensive,
my
but they
thought
do
was-
quite a show. I mean, it's a long.
One of the
time year.
local bands that goes down and plays at the tavern for $200 to have them play cover bands.
No.
Right, I don't know if there is.
Cheapest one at Jake's is like, I don't know if I'm supposed to share this, but like 500.
Right, but something like that, like $500, something.
And you can find those, I call them my bar bands.
Yep, a bar band, something
Mhm.
like that, something.
And that's where I was going with, Nick gave me a couple.
yeah, I'll get a hold
To
of.
do a
Yeah.
bar band,
Just a bar band, something so that
Yep.
there's a live music up
Yes.
there playing.
so did you write that down,
Well, I'm
bar
not gonna
band
look
from
for-
like 4
You
to
want me look for
6:30?
Boots and Blings, Bling?
I think, because they're gonna be like $1,500,
Oh, try more than. they're-
Right.
Okay, that never.
I don't think we need to spend that kind of money.
Not with Chris Cruzy there.
Right, just a bar band.
So we're gonna
something.
put Thursday
Yep.
night, then we're gonna have a bar band. before
Looking
Christmas.
into it.
Yeah, looking into it.
4
Okay.
to 6 or
I
6:30.
mean, I think that'd be, our vendors would appreciate that also.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
You're getting people
Is
there.
the bar band gonna be on the free stage or where Chris Cruz
Yeah.
is going?
Yeah,
Free stage.
Yep.
all right, well, that's 4 to 6:30. Okay, we're gonna look into that. Friday night, Tucker Baker Band performance. On Friday night, again, 6 to 9. Troy?
Yeah, and that would be a night that,
We could bump it back.
could we
Yeah.
bump it back, or could you go, or, an hour longer? I guess.
He
Uh,
actually played last year longer because there was so many people there.
Yeah, so could we do like a,
that fit into our below, is it 45 or is it 4? Is it 4?
but you gotta remember though, if you're looking for a certain specific person,
45.
but
Right,
isn't
but
it,
it
so if
also,
we look for a certain, you want a specific thing, or a
Right.
person,
I think
you're
the band
okay.
would fall under that specific, they're the only one that offers that band is that band.
yes.
So we wanted, or Troy, you wanted,
I would say if we could move it from 7 to 10 instead of the 6 to 9 on a Friday night.
any discussion on that?
What time does, oh, what time does the fair close down on Friday night? Do you know? Is it 11?
11.
11. Here's my thought on it. Again, is they're expensive, it's spending more money, but do you run, because they're a bigger band, do you run them till 11 and then bring in another bar band in front of them? Have someone start at 4, that way we have more stuff going on throughout the day. We'd have live music from 4 till 11
Yeah.
out there.
Well, what time do all the shows get done on Friday?
Swine and sheep.
Well, it'd be
What
the
time you guys
beef,
get-
the beef would be the end.
Oh, the
The
beef,
beef would be the end.
the beef is
Usually
Normally
3, 4
5:30.
o'clock.
5:30 with the show.
But if the beef people can't be there for the
Well-
bar band,
Then there's people that come to the fair that don't go
Yeah,
watch that stuff. It's,
so you're saying Scott do a bar band from like 4 to 6:30 again and then do a 7 to 11?
that's what I'm thinking.
I like that.
That's my opinion,
So we need,
thought.
well.
You just have to make sure we have change time.
Right,
Change
how
order.
much time do they
Yeah.
need in between? And I know that band is old too, they take forever to set up.
Which one? Tucker Baker?
Yeah, no, that's not the one I'm
Oh,
thinking
you're
of.
You're
thinking,
thinking of HGTV.
Yeah, one of them is.
And Marshall Tucker has a ton of instruments, so that
Yeah.
probably wouldn't work on Saturday, but Friday night, Bronson's pretty, that's only the
Yeah.
2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
and-
never mind.
But they might need some help to get it all done
Right.
and accomplished if we put 2 bands on one night.
I've always wanted to be a roadie.
they're saving their social out there. We'll have enough.
Your word.
No, roadie.
Roadie.
So, we're at, Friday night to look into another bar band. Is that something you want? Done.
4 to 6:30,
At what time? Excuse me?
4 to 6:30 and then run another one from 7 to 11. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
4
then
to
do
6,
7:30 to 10:30.
4 to 6, 3 to 6, something, I mean, anything. I mean,
I think the main thing is setting the main one. What time do we want the main one from 7:30
Yeah.
to 10:30 or?
10:30, 11.
I think,
They don't have a
I think we
curfew.
should run them till
Yeah,
11.
they don't have a.
That's
curfew.
when the fair is
It's,
open.
yeah, it's
Keep-
done. Or even 10:30 because it shuts down at 11. You kinda want them to be out of there too.
Right. But the longer they stay there, the more beer they're gonna buy.
That's true. So 11.
Yeah.
All right, so the discussion is till 11?
Well,
Or
so 7 till 11, that's 4 hour, maybe 8 till,
we're gonna have to ask them about it, right? Cause they're gonna charge more.
But if you,
It
6 to
says,
9.
right now, 6 to 9,
which is
that's
3 hours.
So do,
and then we can do 7 to 10 and then add a, like they were saying, well, I didn't say, they were talking about moving into a bar band prior to
on the front side.
on the front side of it.
So if you did a bar band from 4 to 6 and then did this from 7 to 10.
Yeah.
And if it's really hot, then I'm sure if we talk to the band,
Doesn't hurt to check it.
Okay.
7
you
to
got,
10,
you
7
got
to
that written down.
10:30.
Yeah, so you want them to see if they go 7 to 10 and then a bar band from
4 to 6.
4 to 6 or 4 to 6:30,
4 to 6 to give them an hour.
I'd give them an hour to switch.
4 to 6.
We don't need Larry dropping the trombone or something.
Yeah. And it's on Friday.
So that's Friday night.
Or the
Okay.
tuba. I could see Larry with the tuba.
What do I got here?
Are we using the same stage as we did last year?
I hope so, because everybody sure liked it. We had a ton of
Thought we
compliments on
were,
it.
but
Well, I don't know.
yeah, that's up stored in the,
Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
stored.
yeah.
It worked really great. Boy, these
Oh,
bands
yeah,
really
we
liked
can-
it.
The big tent.
With the
and
big
everything.
tent, they
Yep.
loved it. And I
we're
have
gonna
a
go back
picture of
to
the
that.
setup,
Okay,
so-
now we got to the memories on,
No, we're on Saturday.
Saturday now.
Saturday,
Fair Creek.
Bear Creek.
Why am I not? Okay, any discussion? There it is,
How much was the Tucker band?
4,500. Why did I skip it?
Chuck, Baker Band was at, or,
And
Hey,
that's someone you're gonna have come over. and
Bear
pick
Creek
your
was
pick.
the last one.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah,
Okay, it was
now
the
it's,
last one.
thank you.
Yep.
Yep, so the Bear Creek, I found it now, they're on Saturday night from 7 to 11.
Yep.
$1,800.
$1,800?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my bargain band. I talked him down
Perfect, I think that's perfect.
because of who they are.
He's good.
He played with, the one guy plays with Chris Cruzy. And the other, and Bronson is, he's like in, Hickory. He was in, that's where he started, was in Hickory. If anybody knows Hickory. And then he's been in the Chicken Ranch and he plays all over the country and bands.
I think
So-
Bear Creek.
He's
Okay,
a
so,
Colfax guy.
so we're all good with Bear Creek from 7 to 11. Do we need a cover prior to that from 4 to 6 like the other ones?
So only, that's meat, I would say that's, yeah,
Oh,
meat
good.
animal.
Good thinking.
And they
Seven-
take at least an hour and a half to set up.
Oh,
They take a long time to set up because of their,
good with the Bear Creek band. That's good. Okay, now we're moving back
This Sunday.
to Sunday with the memories.
Yeah, right now it should be taken care of. Turn it into our church.
What? Really?
Turn it into our church.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well,
X amount of money. Music fund. Next pastor will give us some dollars in our church. So it's specific how it goes.
okay,
So we sponsored it just down the high school there 2 weeks ago.
really?
And that big crowd, it was probably 1,500 people.
The high school.
What?
And
So we just need to get them as a vendor and then we can get them on Facebook to,
Get the church as a
Thank them.
vendor.
yeah,
they'll give you
perfect.
so sure we'll sponsor it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Okay.
and you will note that this moved up. I talked to Zach, so just so you know too, that we bumped everything up. I was talking, it's all moved ahead an hour just because people were pulling out and the memories were still singing and they hardly had anybody left because people, we shut the fair down we changed that.
Yeah, well, yeah. no,
So now the time starts at
that was
11
a
instead
Nick
of noon.
thing. Let's just be
Huh?
honest.
What?
That was a Nick thing.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah. So I moved the time starts at 11 instead of 12 for the memories.
Oh, you moved it ahead.
Yes,
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. A
yes,
lot better.
because otherwise.
What
at the
time's
end
the
of
fair, what time does the pie social start?
They start about 10:30 or whatever, so they're, yeah. Yeah, whenever they get ready. So I know Zach has his, and I had talked to him ahead of time, for your graduation ceremony, your awards ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that. And you said that, yeah, there was an email and that you were okay with everything would be bumped ahead an hour. So, I mean, it's still in the same time frame, but we're starting the music at 11, so you used to be at 1? Yes. Yes.
Hey, hey, can you talk to your church for another donation for getting a fence around their?
And I had emailed you, go back through your
Oh,
email.
okay.
Because I wanted to make sure. Yeah, because I thought you wouldn't have a problem with that, so.
That's something that
As long as I get time for the water fight. That's all.
Water spike's always done by.
So,
After it's there.
so everybody's good with, who we have for bands and the time. So we just have to, well, I guess we can vote on that, so we're good. It's got
I make a motion to approve all the bands that we had discussed. And the times and the money.
I'll second that.
discussion. Okay.
Right direction.
Perfect. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, awesome. All right. Now, let's see here. Oh, I put this on here I thought she was gonna be here with your website person, but she's not here again. So just waiting on that name and who we gotta talk.
Chris, the Web
the
designer.
Facebook.
Yeah, so. Um. Met with them and,
Yep.
she said it would work real good just to integrate, the good things that it already has and the good things that the county has and, just not next week kind of thing.
You're right.
With the irons in the fire that Krista's got. But I think, it'd be a great fit.
Can you let her know? I'd like to start in November,
Yeah.
because we have weigh-ins coming and we have all this exciting other stuff going on, so by next meeting, I think it's right after that, we can start posting stuff, would be great.
Yep.
All
All
right,
right,
Deb.
excuse me, so DunnCountyFair.org will be going away? Is that what you're saying?
No.
For the website?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, just having Krista help with the, just,
Okay. And she does back it up now and and the Facebook page too.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't have the ins and outs with all of that yet, but, yeah, I wouldn't see any change of the URL or anything.
There's a lot of people that follow our Facebook.
Yeah,
They're over
no.
there.
Change when I talk.
Okay.
No,
I
no, it's
think-
just helping out with it.
Yeah, and you might want to put Instagram on there too, because we have an Instagram account.
Yeah.
So,
And TikTok?
no,
Well, we need TikTok.
no.
We should get.
Will the government allow TikTok with Dunn County? Because there's some county governments that are not
We
allowed.
make a lot of
TikTok.
Instagram reels.
Instagram Reels, but not
Yeah.
Did you have a
So
question?
this is going back, I forgot to ask you this, Austin, earlier, but when we were, and maybe Deb, you could answer this too, a question from
Yep.
prior from MAP.
Yeah.
I was thinking, so when we have the auction on Saturday, are we
Yep.
covered under the county or the fair's insurance during that time?
Yes, because it's a fair event. That's what I was told.
So we would not need to have separate insurance for the kids while we put on that auction.
Thought that a question came up in our last meeting and it was all covered.
We're good, so we don't need to have separate insurance.
No, but if you become your own.
But if we become our own 501(c),
But it is
Then do it.
still a fair event.
so we're
So
covered.
that's the caveat or the tying together if it is a fair event. That's the way that, well, everything's changed, so who knows? But I mean, that's the way that.
Could
I
you
was
check
always
into that
explained it
for
to
me?
me,
Yeah,
because all the fair things were all covered under county insurance. And that's where I get my, certificate of insurances that I have to provide to people.
So if you could check
Um,
on that, I guess, Austin, so,
Yeah.
so that way I can bring that back to
And that's
Matt.
the way it was explained to me. If it's a fair event on our schedule, held at the fair during those 5 days or 6 days.
which wouldn't
We're covered.
change regardless of.
It won't
map
change,
Organization.
No.
correct. But I just wanna make sure, so that way we're not sitting there and something does happen.
Yeah.
It was just brought up at the MAP
Yeah.
meeting, if that's something so we have,
It's basically
clarification.
like our judging.
yeah, that's what I understood, but I
Yeah.
just.
But
wanna
like
make
the
sure.
NTPA, the tractor pull, like they have their own insurance.
Yes, I get a
Even
ride
though
on
they're
their
part of the-
policy.
Right,
They're-
even though they're part of the fair, if something happened
Right.
out there,
And that's an NTPA requirement.
right, but if
Keep-
something happened out there, they
Yeah.
would, if someone got hurt, they would sue the county and NTPA.
And we have, the county covers that because that is a fair event, but there's also an additional,
Right, but that's like any vendor, anybody that's here,
Yes.
anybody that was in the commercial building, if someone got hurt at
Yeah.
their booth, the county's gonna cover it, but they better have insurance too, because they're probably getting sued also.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep. From experience, that's exactly the way it works, because we've
So
been
you
through
check
that.
on that then, whether we should have it or not. Thank you.
I have a question. Are we all done?
I didn't wanna-
No, go ahead, we're done with that, so.
Yep. I got one question for Austin. In our bylaws under membership. Removal, any member of the fair board may be removed by a majority vote of the fair board members. And I'm gonna pick on you, Ron, but I'm not picking on you with this question.
Okay.
So don't take us, Ron is appointed by the county, that position.
Mhm.
We can remove anybody else from the fair board by a vote. What happens in the case, say Ron, everything we wanted to do, he was against it. We didn't want Ron on our board. Is he removable?
Because he's a county board member?
Because he's appointed by the county.
He's our county board rep.
Yep, he's our county board rep. He was not voted on by the board here. He was
Right.
appointed here.
This is so over my.
Right, it was a question I thought
I'd
we
have
were
to
going
get-
through that, and Ron, I love you, but in the case, it was someone that just
Was
argued
appointed.
with
Yes.
everybody here, and he said, you know, this is the way you have to do it, and we're like, no.
Yeah, this,
Just, it's not an issue now, but just looking at
Yeah.
the bylaws is,
They gotta do it.
it should that be spelled out, you're saying?
well, that, it's just a question. Is what happens if the appointed board member needs to be removed? How is
It's
he?
a good point because we do not recommend him. We do not appoint him. I
Right.
mean, it comes,
Ron happens to get
100%.
along and he helps out as much as anybody here and he's a great resource for us.
yes.
But if Ron doesn't get voted on the board and it's somebody else and he doesn't fit
Right.
with everybody else here.
And it would be the same thing if, heaven forbid, Ron doesn't win the election. We're gonna get somebody new.
Well, I can
You know?
always retire and just go
No, you
home,
can't.
you know?
You know, so,
Yeah, this,
Just food for-
these can, like in anything in here, these can be amended by you.
Right,
As little as something like a definition or
Right.
clarification on that.
But Ron, like
Maybe
Ron's
something to talk to Jim
position is a
about.
little bit
I'd
different
say
because he's
apparently not,
appointed.
because.
Just
I
want
talked to-
clarification, just some food for thought. Don't-
Andrew would know that answer.
Right, just what do we do if we get, how do we put something in our bylaws that if we get an appointed member that doesn't mesh well with us, that we
Yeah.
can remove them before it becomes a big issue?
Mhm.
Thank you.
Well, Larry could take my place.
He's already sent one.
Hey, remember,
You
Ron,
don't
somebody
think you were
wanted somebody
bad,
that
Ron.
did something,
Yeah, okay.
he's good at that.
Oh. Yeah, I got it. Anything, anybody else want to bring to the table? Deb?
and it probably, we've always sent people, we have money in the budget to send people to the convention. Registration is due right now. It opened up this week. I guess that would probably be something you could put, when are we meeting next?
2 weeks.
Cause it goes till, the cheaper rate goes through November. I don't even know if anybody's interested in going.
How much is convention?
$60 plus hotel.
When is that, in January, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that's when and I think we gained a lot tonight. You know, from what we have in the past, but I know we kind of talked about using that time period of bringing in like the Wyatts and, you know, the Fish and Game and kind of come up with our own ideas within this group, you know, how to make just our fair bet, you know, brainstorm and try to get some stuff done at that time. I know that was conversation in the past.
It is a good education.
Well, I was talking to these horse pole guys and they're very interested in wanting to be involved.
That's my opinion is I think that's a great idea to have our conversations and set it on a couple days, but I still think it's a good idea if Deb and Ron or someone are willing to go down there because it's more networking and maybe you bump into a horse pole person down there and you can have that conversation down there.
Well, I just talked to my neighbor,
Well,
Who's your neighbor?
Joe Johnson.
So that could be something that, you know, for like our next meeting to try to find a place or a time. You know, where would you have the horse pull and?
Well,
Because they
yeah.
would come in and it wouldn't cost us anything, correct?
Right.
You know, so if we could figure out a time, you know. That
Well,
works.
I can talk to the guy and if he was willing to come down here and pitch his
Deal.
field,
He would come to the meeting.
yeah.
And that's where that January thing that you're talking about kind of comes in, where that guy comes in, pitches his spiel, you guys networking and all that. And there's so much things to figure out yet. A
Well,
lot
when I go down to the thing, my personal experience is that everything costs too much. Every act,
Every act and stuff.
I
yes.
mean, it's out of our price range, but there might be something around here that could, you know, local talent would help a lot better than some of them people around America.
but there's also the educational pieces
Yeah,
and all the sessions and the networking.
So you're looking to put it on the agenda that somebody or you would go down there and get your.
Yeah, I will be going myself. I will be going anyway regardless because mine's paid, partially paid by the state.
Okay.
Anyway, so, I either put the rest of it myself or,
I think if a couple people would wanna go,
I know the animal, the two animal sessions that they do down there with Dr. Conkle are like, probably got 300 people at, and they are the best two sessions, I think, of the part of it, but there's really some good educational pieces down there.
I think,
yeah, and then
put
you
it on
got
for the
the
November 3rd.
people that congregate and
Yeah.
get their ideas, how they
Yep,
get.
the networking is.
And
yeah.
then when you talk to somebody from like down south, their county fair, and they got everything.
Yep,
It's
Now,
one
how
night,
can you-
Deb, is it one night? Correct?
no,
Two
it's,
nights.
it starts Sunday night is carnival night, and then it goes through, Wednesday during the day, but typically Dunn County has not stayed for Wednesday night's banquet, which is kind of pricey. We come home, so it'd be a hotel for, if you go for carnival night, it would be Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night. Cause you'd come home on Wednesday.
It's $60 a day. Is
Yeah.
it $60 a day?
It's, nope, it's $60 for the registration.
Okay, and then it's whatever,
And the
then 3
hotel-
nights worth of hotel.
Yeah, just a minute. It was $89. We got this sweet deal, but I think it went up this year. Should have looked that up. I guess my reservations are.
For thinking about that, something came to mind about these bands and stuff. And you know, you and I have got a couple people to sponsor some of this, and that is what we kind of want to look forward to. I just think going forward, if we can find somebody like that and look and ask if people would do that, I think we need to maybe go that route to cheapen up a lot of things. I mean, you and myself, we found, and we can find more and I think we need to maybe look into that a little bit more.
Well, there's a route that you could take and it's called grant writing. If you'd like to get into that. There's
I have. Yeah.
there's many ones that you can pick from, but usually get shot down, but the efforts, might pan out.
You know, the other place to look, and maybe we need to have some conversations and is maybe like the community foundation?
Yeah.
In Menominee, they got money, they have, there might be some money there, some opportunities, maybe with the Chamber of Commerce.
We
You
may be
know,
friends of the fair too, I don't know.
there might be some opportunities
Yeah.
on those roads to look into.
Yeah, I think the community is willing to help out, especially if you blast it out there. I mean, within 20 minutes, I think they're willing to help out. They just need to be asked. And
That's right.
that's just the route that I think we ought to go. I mean, we can flip a bill for 4,500, but if we ask, you might be, I'm just throwing his name out, and I don't know if I should, Mike, but a certain person owns a company, and you go to him and say, hey, would you do this? I'm sure he would be like, well, why didn't he ask before? I think there were.
If you'd have a banner up with,
Yeah.
whatever band it's sponsored by.
So you got $500 in sponsorship. It costs you $4,500 band. That's paid for. Now we only have the $500 for putting his name all over Facebook and get some banners for him and make him a big deal that day. Austin, you got more experience with this stuff when we do with your current job but what you did before, once you're.
No, I think this is awesome. Just look at how much money we freed up to be able to provide more pro bono stuff to people that come to this, or, I always had a vision with this on the big Cars and Coffee car show on Sunday or something. There are just more things, more little outlying activities for people to have fun there. But you just freed up $14,000, $13,000 in 2 acts to be able to utilize that on other stuff with this. So,
How much
Um,
was the memories?
3,000.
You know, food for thought. You know, which is awesome that we're freeing up $3,000, but like on Saturday, I know the auction is going on later, but do we look at, we freed up $3,000. Is there something else that we can put on the free stage during the day?
That's what, yeah, that,
You know, a hypnotist,
that
so-
was brought up.
something, anything that we can have out there during the day.
And that was, brought up for our last meeting, or maybe it's, I know it's brought up because I have it in my notes. And that's maybe something we were gonna discuss during our brainstorming operation in January, or when do we get to that point when we get these guys taken care of? But yes, that's a very good idea.
And like back to that, like I still remember the year and I don't know why I remember it so well. But we did Dunn County's Got, or Menominee's Got Talent. You know, and it brought all these other kids and, you know, the singers and all that stuff. It's just finding a person to put it together, right? And actually do it. But I thought that was so cool that you could see all the local kids. And then plus these families that normally wouldn't come to the fair. Now mom and dad and siblings and grandma, grandpa are all coming to see them perform on a stage. You know, it's just more to, how do you put it together? Who put it together that time?
We did because it was part of a state competition because whoever won went to the state fair.
I think so.
Oh,
Right.
But,
so is that something that
Yeah.
we're able to do yet, where we can?
well, we could do our own, but they don't go on because state fair doesn't do that anymore.
Okay.
But we have the capability of finding
Mhm.
people that, or whatever, to put some acts. If we just reach out, I'm sure
Yep.
there's somebody that would say, hey, why don't you try this? You never did that before, you know, or whatever. Hey, I can get a hold of them. Hey, how about you do that for us? That'd be great. And it costs us nothing. Right. Go ahead, Austin.
with the state fair a few weeks after our fair, are there any other things that you see from the state side that is a competition on a regional level, not on the ag side, that might be able to be added?
They have their baking contest.
Okay.
This year it's oatmeal. What is it? Just got the information on it. Larry just brought it. Oatmeal cookies, I think.
Then us fair board,
And
or-
then you,
then the fair board members are the judges of the baking contest.
Yes, I like.
we used to have a baking
Yeah.
contest and
Yeah.
we always judged it. Outrageous
speaking of
oatmeal
judging,
cookies.
Wasn't there something about beer at one time that we talked about where we'd get to judge it?
Yep. And that,
You can't.
I have, huh? What? No, I'd love to bring it back. We had beer, we had beer this year. We had some entries in beer.
Nathan's hot dog.
But-
eating
But we,
That was something that we talked, I remember talking about in the
Yep.
fair office that one
Yep.
day, a couple years ago, that there was
Yeah.
something with beer, that a competition where we'd actually get to taste it or something, I thought.
yeah, and we did,
Had one exhibitor
yeah,
in the commercial building that
that had beer.
had beer.
We need more of that.
And he was, well, it's an exhibit, it's.
It's in the fair book.
Fair book for
And-
beer or wine.
Yeah.
But he was judged and then, he left with it.
Yes, because we can't leave that here. He could leave an empty bottle.
Right.
We had a sanctioned beer contest and that, at that time, we had a guy from one of the breweries here in town that was our member of the Brewers Association that could sanction that. So we got beer from all over the country because they have to enter so many contests. And we had the judging on a Saturday in the fair office and we had to give them unsalted soda crackers and water and different things. And it was pretty, and you can't talk. But then we got to taste it all. If we wanted.
So for on the next, so we have to think about the next meeting. We're gonna do the contract with Ann. We're checking in and I'm gonna invite. forget his name.
Wyatt.
No, James, to come here to clarify for us, right, Larry?
Well,
Yep,
I just asked him two
So-
questions and he sent me that.
right. So we're gonna ask,
I mean, you know, I don't.
right, no, it's,
If corporate counsel shows up, he has to come to a meeting, I mean,
they should.
yeah, I know, he's,
He was here that one other time. He sat back there in the.
Yeah, so he can clarify that.
yeah, I'll ask, you want me to ask him to come to the
Yeah,
next
that's what
meeting?
I want. Yep.
Okay,
And well, when we get to figure out the
We
next,
put them on right away.
and then, yeah, we can put him, well, yeah. 'cause we gotta get through
he's
the-
real, forthright on his stuff and,
What I'd like to do is get the fishing game out and then we can talk about our own
Oh,
private
yeah.
stuff we got going on. But yes, if you could get him to our next meeting,
I'll ask him.
okay, and then we'll go, yeah, and and then the vendor contract with the Fish and Game is in the next one. And then, we're gonna talk to Nick about some of those night bands. And, I have on here two things for next time. The petting zoo,
Yes.
I needed to talk to you about that. The Humane Society had wanted to come in, but I don't know quite the rules.
Yep, they can, I talked to them this year about bringing in dogs, adopt a dog or a dog and cats for adoption, but it was too hot.
Okay, oh, I have them,
Mhm.
so on the board for next time, and then, one thing with MAP, that we didn't bring up, Troy, had on my notes is judges. We can bring up that next time. You guys there's two different discussions that were going, you guys said you would pay them. We were thinking about, or you guys were thinking about just going to a,
No, we talked about it at the last MAT meeting, that
Yeah,
the
but the-
county was gonna pay them.
yeah, but we gotta figure out a
Flat-
flat
flat
rate
rate.
for, is what they were talking about. Right. So that's what.
Mileage and flat rate.
I didn't hear.
Mileage and flat. rate.
Oh,
Right, I don't think it can be one generic contract for every judge because, you know, if judges in Menominee versus coming from La Crosse.
and what they have on there, they have on there, for instance, I'm throwing them out there, $400 for the big judge, right?
Mhm.
You know, and then what they were asking is what we would pay for that same big, we don't have to give them the $400 is what they're saying. We're just going down to okay, we're saying you're living in Wisconsin or not too far away is what they were saying to us.
The mileage was really high.
Right, the mileage we take out, here's the flat rate, so if he was $400, we had at $300, we're at $300,
I
am I
think
right,
what the
Troy?
fair board needs, what the fair board needs to figure out is what we want, what we're willing to pay
So we're getting a
those
pay-
judges, because then that way, if if MAP wants to pay extra above and beyond that, say you guys wanna pay 300, but this judge is gonna cost 700, is MAP willing to?
Shouldn't the fair board be paying for all of it though, because it's a fair thing and not a map thing?
We always did it because,
The access.
because it's the extra cost if you want better
That really
judges.
shouldn't fall on map. I mean, that should be a fair
But the
board
county-
thing, cause it doesn't have anything to do with map.
Well, the
Well-
reason it started, Scott, was because the map, those 4 projects wanted higher caliber judges than what our normal judge rate was for like dairy or any of the other species or foods or whatever. And so then they agreed to foot part of the bill.
How much did you pay last year?
I would have to ask I'd have to ask Paula Powers.
It was like $800 total.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't that
Yeah,
much.
it was like 800 extra, so it was like 200 bucks a
For those
judge.
4 judges,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the idea was just the idea that you guys are swinging that we could just tack on $50 and then that would be their set. So if we had, say, the picking of the big judge, $400, now it becomes $450 and that's just the rate. And the work mileage, if he lives down the road, good for him. You know, that was kind of the discussion.
Well, and I think-
That way they can cut them a check. We're not waiting on him. He gets his check, he leaves. Everybody's paid, everybody's good. That was the discussion behind the judge, idea. So that's on
For the next.
for next time. I'm just throwing it out there so you guys got food for
So
thought.
Deb, could you have
And
like,
I was just gonna, ask Paul, what you guys put out and then what we put out.
yeah, I could just say like what you pay on average per judge, say for those 4 species, and then I can get Paula's kind of our average, so that way we're all on the same page.
All right. No more, yep, Larry, otherwise.
70 cents is what the county pays Ron and I
Yep.
to come to the meeting. And, if you remember in past meetings, like about 3 or 4 ago, everybody was handed a, sheet to fill out that you were here to.
Oh, yep,
per
yep.
diem.
Yeah.
And we
got-
haven't done anything yet. What is the plan or how are you guys handling it, Ron? And
Uh,
what do you want to do?
Great question. She's not here. So I was told that that was coming, but obviously she's not here. You said you had a bunch of them printed out and I should have called you prior to that, but I wasn't thinking
I
about
could
that, to be
go
honest.
next door and there's usually a pile.
That's, if that's legal. I don't know why it isn't, but if you could, that would be great.
Well, if they're there.
Okay, let me adjourn the meeting first.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Can you
Nope.
put convention on there or did, what?
Oh,
or
yeah,
did we
yeah,
just-
no,
we need to
convention, yeah.
decide?
Okay. Okay. Meeting adjourned. You're gonna go get the,
I'll see if their sheets are there.